What is up guys, today we are going to fix this PS4 controller, and this is the Model 1 PS4 Duashock 4, and these tend to have a problem with analog sticks here. As you can see, like this one here is degraded and the rubber has completely come off, so you have something like this which isn't good for your thumbs. And also the R2 trigger has come loose a bit, is on the verge of kind of coming off. I think the spring inside it has either broken or it's just come dislodged. So we're going to open this up. So I have like a Phillips here, screwdriver, I think it's a Phillips 00. I have a rubber plastic pry tool, because there are clips around the sides here, and just some tweezers just in case. First thing we want to do is unscrew the 4 screws here. I don't think there's any hidden screws under the sticker there. Once you got the screws out, just loosen it up here, and you can kind of see there's an opening spot here. Right, so I managed to open this up on the left side here, but I was too aggressive, so it kind of just popped open. And over on this side, it's a ribbon cable, and that's for the light bar at the top. So just be really careful not to be too aggressive, else you'll damage the ribbon cable here. So pretty much you just want to pop this up to disconnect the ribbon cable. Just be careful with the L and R2 buttons here, because as you can see there's a spring that can easily be lost, and they're tiny, so put that to a side so it doesn't fall out. Now the back is exposed. And this is the battery for the controller. You can just pretty much just pop that open, and that's the battery taken out. It's pretty easy to replace the battery if needs be. Here you have the motors for the vibration. Now we want to get behind the board here, so we can replace the analog. Right, so we want to take off a screw here. I think that's the only screw. I've noticed there's also a ribbon cable here that needs taken out. It's quite tricky to pop open. As you can see, there's 3 parts to this. There's this plastic bit here, and there's the actual board, and then there's like a plastic casing at the front. Okay, so it's not going to fully come out because of the ribbon cable connected to the touchpad. One of the option buttons came loose there, so just be careful with buttons coming out and making sure you know which button's which. Okay, I just disconnected the touchpad ribbon cable. there, and it should all just lift off. There we go. So all I need to do is replace this nub here. So I just pulled it out. So I have my new analog stick here. Just gonna line it up. Good as new. Although it's a little bit different this one, but it feels like it won't rub off so easily. Now there's pretty much nothing you can do on this board, so if anything messes up on this board then you just need this replacing. Or if your Duashocks aren't working, just re-solder the wires. But other than that, this doesn't really need fixing, in my case anyway. So that's the analog fixed. Next we need to fix the trigger buttons. So we're just gonna put this back together, making sure all the buttons are in place. There we go. Now I noticed that the trigger here, I found the culprit. Let's do one. The R2 trigger has been snapped here, which is causing it to like dislodge and not fully be able to like press in. So the R2 here, which is kind of stuck, needs to be replaced. Right, I've sort of like put this back together, put the middle screw in and the batteries back in. Now the triggers. So what you want to do to take this out, I thought you had to like take out this way, but you want to press it in, press in the middle, and then it all should just pop out like that. So this one's a bit stuck. This is the one that's broken. There we go. So as you can see, this one here is missing a bit of plastic. And also, this is where you put your spring in. So this one needs replacing. Now if you don't have a replacement trigger button, you can try to see if it focuses in. You can try to just super glue like the little bits at the end. It's only a temporary fix, but it's better than nothing. See where it's kind of, it's not straight, but it's the best I can do. Just let that dry for a bit. Alright, once you fix your trigger buttons, you want to place these back in, making sure that these little springs here are in place, like so. And these are easily come off. Here there's like two clips. Two clips where these anchor points go in. We just want to slot it in carefully, making sure the spring is lined up. I'm not too sure if you can see, but there is like a little gap here where the spring should go in. And just test it. Just test the button, see if it's springy and responsive. And that's in, that's flush in. So be careful with this button here. This popped out when I opened it. I wasn't too sure where this went. It's like a little rubber button, and I'm pretty sure that's the reset, the hard reset, where you put the pin in. That goes in there, press it in, and you can feel it click. Now this is the R2 button that was broken. The little plastic bit here, plastic support here, has snapped off, and I have super glued it back together. So, I mean, this is just like a temporary fix. I mean, the more you play it, the more it'll probably just deteriorate and come off again. So I do highly recommend just buying a new trigger button. We're going to pop this back in. Once you've got your trigger buttons in, make sure they're nice and springy before you put the shell back on. Next you want to put this ribbon cable back in. Simply just slot it back in. Doesn't take much force. Now this is the fun part. Pin the back case back on. Make sure you press down on the trigger buttons. It should all just snap back in. Just make sure it's all flush. Seems to be before you screw it in. And turn it on. Still working. Gonna have to test this trigger button out. This seems to be fine, analog. You can tell which one's been replaced. And yeah. So everything's in place, everything seems to be working. That's pretty much how you dismantle a PS4 controller, replace the analog and fix the trigger buttons. So I hope this guide has helped you, and yeah, got a working PS4 controller again. So thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you again soon.